Hello everyone, welcome back to the game table. Oh, let me turn some lights on here. What are we looking at? You can barely see them. Well, if you remember, not too long ago I had ordered some 1/6000 scale ships from a company called Figurehead, and well, I painted a couple. I'm not a big fan of painting. I do what I can. But painting little small ships is something totally new to me. Painting ships at all. So I thought, well, let's do a couple up and I'll show them off. Yeah, they're really small. So let's zoom in. So this is just a top down. Now these do come on their own little base. They do have a little bit of water built right onto them here. So just kind of experimenting with some different painting techniques, I guess, to try and get the water down. They don't look too bad. Now turn it to the side there. This one here that I'm holding is the Bismarck. Now I've watched a couple of videos and seen a lot of pictures on the internet, people making all kinds of really elaborate bases. I just haven't hit that level of skill yet. So I just simply took a permanent marker and in my poor penmanship wrote, the name of the ship on the bottom. Maybe, I don't know, on one hand I kind of like the lack of like a base, but on the other it's really hard to identify what it is from a distance. And then here we have the Prinz Eugen, kind of done up there. Now, I mean, it looks like a ship, and you can see that there's a little detail, but I mean, the thing is, it's so small that to tell exactly what all the little bumps and bits are is rather difficult. And painting them really isn't that difficult. I found a brown, I don't even remember what the color of the brown was, but what I'm seeing is you want to go a little bit lighter on some of the colors like the brown, the decking. It might not be authentic, it's just that the darker decking really doesn't show up well on these small minis, and so I just kind of went with a lighter brown so you can see the the deck. And then what I did was uniform gray. I sprayed the entire thing in a base coat of uniform gray. Then for the water I found a dark blue that I had, and then I had a little bit lighter blue that I put on there. So this is kind of two shades, although it's at this scale it's really hard to tell that there's two shades. And then I just did a light dry brush with white to try and get the wave caps. On the Eugen I did the same thing. It was the dark blue, but this time I had a lighter blue. It was called like a void shield, so it added kind of a fluorescent kind of shimmering to the water, and I like that. I don't know if I'll do a white dry brush for the caps, because I think the void shield blue kind of gives some of the water wave effects. Then since it was all in uniform gray for all the superstructure guns and stuff, I then took some Army Painter Strong Tone, basically kind of like a black wash, just their dark tone. I think it's called Strong Tone, and I gave it a wash, the superstructure. Then I did a light white dry brush. So there's not many steps at all, but it's a significant improvement over just a complete gray drabby ship. So it gives a little texture, and it really stands out on the map that I play on the little tablecloth I have. Now I did read somewhere someone said they didn't like the 1/6000 scale because at distance they just look like little blobs of metal, and I think I kind of agree. At distance it's really hard to see any kind of detail. And I know for some people that's what they like, is you stand back from the tabletop and you want to be able to see the ship and know what it is. This is a little more challenging. Basically when you play you're going to have to kind of remember, okay, that's my Eugen, that's my Bismarck, unless you pick it up constantly to read the ship, which is kind of one reason why people put bases on these, is they can put ship details on the base. So you can't always tell the ship by looking at it, but the base will give that information away. And like I said, I haven't quite figured out how I want to base. Now, just to kind of show you in comparison here, my little friend Musashi here, this is the Axis and Allies 1/1800 scale. See, and this is what people like. They want to be able to look at it from a distance and go, oh, you know, here it comes. I know exactly what that is. Completely different level of detail because it's a much larger mini. But for some folks, the cost, these are not cheap. I know when I got this came in like a $15 random booster pack, but to buy these things individually could be, you know, $20 or more. For 20 bucks, I spent 40 altogether, but I ended up with a little fleet of some British and German ships. So, you know, you just kind of got to go with what you can do at the moment. The other thing too is the figure scale to terrain scale. You know, not only can I see the details of this, but you would need a very, very large playing area to get, you know, somewhat realistic results. When I put these little ships on the table and kind of measured out, it really had it fit. It was like amazing. It felt like vast distances of ocean between the two ships, even though they were all on a 6x4 table. So when I had, you know, these large minis out, it just felt very kind of close and crowded. So I can really see the advantages to both. But for now, I think I'll go ahead and paint up some more of these, and I'll try and give you all a battle report using these in this scale. Because I think, if nothing else, they're cute. My wife thinks they're kind of a waste. She's like, but they're so small. Well, yeah, that's the point. When you're trying to simulate, never mind. I'll just keep them to myself. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. See y'all later.